Hi guys, how are you? John here, Johnson & Perrotson Douglas. We're going to do a quick walk around of the 2020 Kia e-Niro today. So we'll take a quick walk around the car and then we'll hop in and go for a spin. So the e-Niro comes with front sensors and rear sensors as standard now. You have your LED daytime running lights. You can see the lovely blue surrounds on this gravity blue model. That is just kind of a representative of the fact that it is an electric vehicle. Your charge point is actually in the front. So you have your two options, whether you're using a DC or a CCS charger there. So that pops in there and locks as well when the car is locked. Car comes with 17-inch alloy wheels. You have your body coloured wing mirrors, chrome door handles and chrome roof rails. You also have your keyless entry, so if the key is in your pocket or your handbag, you press this button here, car will unlock and naturally lock when you leave the car. Plenty of space now in the e-Niro, so you're looking at 451 litres of space when you have your rear seats up, and exactly 1,451 litres of boot space when you drop your seats on the 60-40 split there. Okay, so we're inside the Kia e-Niro, 64 kilowatt hour. The battery is actually all along the bottom of the car, so it's an even kind of weight distribution. It keeps the car lower to the ground. Cornering is a lot nicer. It just means for a smoother drive. So you're looking at it. This is a 64 kilowatt hour battery. Your standard, let's say when you're fully charged, your standard range should be around 455 kilometers. I drove this car for a few weeks just to get used to it, just to see what I could actually get out of it as regards to range. And doing a lot of motorway driving, dual carriageway driving, whatever else, I was getting well over 400 kilometers. Not trying to keep my speed down, not worrying about the air conditioning, not worrying about anything like that. So I was getting well over 400 kilometers. It takes roughly around 9.5 hours to charge from your home charger. So if you're using your home charger, which is a 7.2 kilowatt hour charger, you'll get kind of 3.6 through it. It takes about 9.5 hours from empty. You're unlikely to be empty at any point, but it does. It fully charges 9.5 hours. If you're using a home charger, or if you're using a public charger, you would be looking at, depending on the size of the charger, you get up to 80%, roughly speaking, about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours again, depending on how low it is. There's 4 driving modes. The driving modes obviously affect the range. So obviously if you go into sport mode, the range will go down because you're accelerating a lot more. The steering is a little bit lighter. There's no control over aircon, there's no control over speed, so your range will drop. You have normal, you have eco, and you have eco plus. Eco plus puts a 90 kilometer cap on the speed, so it brings on the speed limiter automatically, and it also turns off the air conditioning, so that will increase your range. So naturally, if you were, let's say, close to home, slightly worried about your range, then you can put it into eco plus. It'll reduce your speed and help you get home without actually running out of charge. The handy thing about this car as well is you have your regenerative braking. So there's 4 levels of regenerative braking. Regenerative braking basically turns the kinetic energy that is generated while you brake or reduce speed, and it puts it back into the motor to help with the range. Now, it's not going to give you 20 or 30 kilometers if you think, okay, if I brake a lot, it's going to bring up the range quite a bit. It's not, but it's using the energy more efficient, so it makes sure that the car isn't inefficient with its energy usage. You can put it on level 0. There's no regenerative braking, or very, very little. 1, 2 and 3. Now 3 is almost like it's almost like one pedal. So if I was to put it up to 3, when I take my foot off the accelerator, you can see the speed is dropping there straight away. You're accelerating, you're in level 3 regenerative braking, the brake almost comes on automatically. So that's obviously a very high level of regeneration. It's not ideal for let's say driving on a dual carriageway, driving on a motorway, but it's very handy if you're driving in the city. It's almost like you're using one pedal, which is handy. Again, now if I take it off, straight away you'll feel it's braking down. It went from 86 kilometers an hour down to 72 almost instantly. Again, now we're coming up to a roundabout. I'm not pressing the brake, and we're gone down to 30 kilometers an hour. Spec wise, there's all the standard stuff. We can rattle through all the standard stuff. This model comes with a 10-inch screen, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, built-in sat-nav, all that stuff. You have standard stuff like climate control, air conditioning, USB connectivity, Bluetooth. The fun stuff, you have adaptive cruise control. So adaptive cruise control and lane follow assist, it's fantastic. So if you were taking a long journey, you could essentially put the car into adaptive cruise control, set your distance to the car in front, 1, 2 or 3 car lengths. The sensors up here will then sense where you are on the road. If a car pulls out in front of you, the car will naturally drop off. So you set it 120 kilometers an hour on the road to Dublin, car pulls out in front of you, the car will reduce speed for you automatically. It'll stay in the lane once you have your hand on the steering wheel. And what it'll do is if the car pulls out in front of you, drops back in, it'll bring you back up to the 120 kilometers an hour. For the first time in a while, we're actually in a position where we can get these cars delivered nearly straight away. Because obviously with such a new car, demand across Europe was huge. There was quite a delay on delivery. The amount of cars we had in each dealership, there wasn't a lot for delivery for each, but at the moment we do actually have free stock available, which is great. So it means that you're talking, roughly speaking, around about 3 weeks of a delay. It's probably the wrong word. 3 weeks time frame from when you apply for your grant application for the €10,000 in grants from the SAI and from the VRT, as well as your home charging grant. You're talking about 3 weeks. We do have cars in stock now, so we could get you into a car very soon from when you ordered a car, whereas before you were talking months because the amount of cars that were there weren't there. So the best thing to do would be to give us a ring, 021 491 6300. Get in, drive the car. Once you drive the car, you'll be sold. I was completely. And as I said to you earlier, I had, like, myself and electric cars weren't the best of friends. I love this car now. If I could drive it the whole time, I would. So come in, drive the car. We'll test drive it. We'll price it up. There's some fantastic finance offers available as well. Just give us a call. Thanks.